Wow. Start a Minnesota Vikings fan channel, they said. Probably one of the worst weeks to start a Minnesota Vikings fan channel. But here we are. Hello everyone, my name's Ollie and welcome to the first video on the First and SKOL YouTube channel. What a week, eh? What an absolute week. This is now the second attempt to record this very video. I got the recording done last night, went on Twitter and saw the news that McCarthy is likely to be ruled out against the Cincinnati Bengals between 2 and 4 weeks. Adam Schefter is reporting that McCarthy will likely be out for, wow, can you believe it? After the highs of game week 1, after the very low of game week 2, and now we've got the McCarthy injury too, with Carson Wentz likely to be stepping in for game week 3. Just bonkers stuff. A little bit of backstory: I've supported the Vikings ever since Adrian Peterson ran that 60-yard rushing touchdown against the Pittsburgh Steelers at Wembley Stadium in 2013. From that moment on, I was absolutely hooked. And there's never a dull day with the Minnesota Vikings, is there? From the highs of the Minneapolis Miracle to the lows of the 38-7 against the Eagles. Would we have it any other way though? Bringing it back round to McCarthy now, I just want to say, Vikings fans on social media, what are we doing? What are we doing? The amount of tweets that I've seen completely trashing going back on our word about giving a QB time. It's just absolutely diabolical. He's the youngest starting quarterback in the league. He's only 22 years old and he's a national champion, for God's sake. It's been 2 games in the NFL for McCarthy, one of which he saved them. He produced a miracle in the 4th quarter and got his team out of a hole. And in the second game, injuries, without shadow of a doubt, injuries would have played a part. And also being a first-time father. I'm not saying, we should lump on all the praise in the world for JJ. He had a couple of missed opportunities, a couple of overshot throws, particularly the one to Jalen Naylor. But just give the kid a break, for goodness sake. I think this tweet summed it up perfectly. Everyone wants to watch a young QB develop until it's time to actually watch a young QB develop. That's how it feels. No one has patience these days to go through any sort of rebuilding and transitional process. McCarthy is a young QB. He's a national champion, and this team is in win now mode. But give him a good half of the season at least. For goodness, he's only had 2 games. It's a joke. The injuries on the offensive line haven't done JJ himself any favours at all. That left tackle position is an absolute mess right now. And there is this insane amount of pressure on him for such a young quarterback in the league. I think Kevin O'Connell can probably help him out a little bit more. Perhaps some more slants and some screens would have been helpful, I'm sure. These are lessons for KOC going forward, but the lack of patience some fans have is truly baffling. There were some impressive throws in there, particularly the one to Jefferson at the end of the first half, got 3 vital points on the board. A couple of throws to Naylor along the sidelines and Thielen down the middle were pretty good as well. He also escaped the pressure in the pocket too and used his legs to get out of there. I was really impressed with that. But if we look at this second 20 play here, JJ escapes the pocket, runs to his left, has Aaron Jones ahead of him, puts in a massive block, but the defender drags him, looks like a hip drop tackle, which is illegal in the league now, and he perhaps rolls his ankle. It's difficult to see there with the defender. Now, as we look at the subsequent plays after, he looks like he doesn't have that power from underneath him, particularly that one in the 4th as well, a bit of an arm punt to Justin Jefferson. He's sort of throwing motion didn't look quite right. As I said, the tackle is now banned in the league and I expect a fine or some sort of penalty to be given. But those tackles are so hard to stop in the NFL these days. So then, it's next man up for the Vikings. Carson Wentz should step up against the Cincinnati Bengals on Sunday. It should be an interesting matchup. Jake Browning should be the starting quarterback for the Bengals, considering Joe Burrow's serious injury on his toe. The Vikings will certainly be looking for redemption after the game against the Falcons and redemption against Jake Browning, who defeated the Vikings, was it last season or season before? Hopefully players that were ruled out with a concussion in week 2 will be back for week 3. AVG, Jeff Okuta. Will we see some Christian Darrisaw? I'm not quite sure. It seems to be 50-50 in day-by-day process for him coming back. I'm sure Carson Wentz would greatly appreciate Darrisaw being back in the O-line, and perhaps Justin Jefferson will as well, as he faces up against his old LSU teammate Jamar Chase. Can I see JJ McCarthy back before the bye? I'd like to see him travel to London to play the Browns. I think that would be a good opportunity to get the win, to get some confidence. After the bye, we've got the Philadelphia Eagles. It doesn't get much easier from there on as we come across a pretty tough 5-6 game stretch. McCarthy needs reps, simple as that. And the longer he's out for, the more difficult it is going to be for him to come back into this side. So there we have it, guys. What are your thoughts on JJ McCarthy's performances in week 1 and week 2? Do you have belief that he'll come back better and stronger? And what are your predictions with Carson Wentz at the helm? Thanks a bunch for watching and listening. I really do appreciate it. SKOL Vikes and peace out.